in the ground. They must dig through somehow. They relentlessly mine down. No time to hang around. Can you dig it? Oh yeah. Can you dig it? Oh yeah. Can you dig it? Oh yeah. Can you dig it? I'm suppliant. This thing designed by the giants, it must be ours. As Greg and the brutes play time tea down off an eye to the boarding house, Darathra follows to take away she who murdered her spouse. To the town that the heroes boldly retire. A toast to Gregomel in dice and desire.
I don't doubt that you'll come across more giants as you go, and I don't doubt that you'll still need more help. You know, you dealt admirably with those two. What about next time when it's 3, 4, 5? Who knows how many giants you might come across next? She beckons you in. One of my old colleagues, one of my old adventuring colleagues, Harthos Zimorvan, used to talk about a giant slayer weapon that he owned. Now, I've not seen Harthos for many a year now, but if he still has this giant slayer, I can't help but think that it might be of use to someone such as yourselves. If this is something that interests you, I can point you in the direction of his family home where I last knew of him. But I appreciate at the same time you possibly have your own plans, you possibly have your own things that you want to be doing. So if this helps you, then I can put you in touch with him and obviously just give him my name. We left on good, with a good relationship, and I think that he will do his best to help you if you tell him what happened here today and who you helped.
Where could we find this Harthos?
He will be, as I say, the last time I saw him, it's been a while since I've spoken to Harthos, but the last that I saw him, he was living in his family home, Zymorphan Hall. It's actually to the checks map. It's to the northeast of here, quite considerable way. It's not close by any means, but it's if you want to ride it directly, you'd have to go across the Evermoors, which we all know is a very dangerous part of the world. Alternatively, you can take the long way around the Evermoors way, etc. I can if you've got a map, I can show you where it is on the map.
We have a map.
Okay.
That certainly seems like something that we might need to investigate. Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. I wish I could do more. I can give you free drinks. I can give you free accommodation, but you know I can never really give you as much as you deserve for what you did today. I was out there. I don't know if you saw. I shot 1 or 2 arrows at an orc, and I didn't do much else.
The people we noticed the people of the town doing their best today.
Thank you, and if only our best was enough, maybe those poor souls around me would still be alive.
Did we find out why? Did we think that the attacks from the orcs, demons, and the giants were coordinated?
I heard. Is that a question you're raising to Ergler?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. One adventurer to another. Is it likely that those 3 things would happen in one town on the same day? We live in dangerous times, but something like that for orcs to be with giants in another spot of the town, and also for demons, which I actually caught sight of one of them, and I ran into one of them many years ago. It was actually a magmin, nasty little creatures who live for setting things on fire, and a fire giant, a fire demon. You tell me if they're connected.
Both got fire in their names, haven't they? So
exactly, that's the thing that I'm trying to suggest. Yeah,
that's probably that's the connection, isn't it?
Yeah.
It
would be
fire.
quite a coincidence if they actually decided to attack the town on the same day.
Yeah.
What do you think of Darathra?
I think she's a tremendous woman, and she does nothing but great for this town. She's a wonderful Lord Protector, and she you know, as I say, it's dangerous times, but we've been quite fortunate that under her, I can't think of many days that have come close to the type of trouble we've had today. She's a fair leader of this town. She tends to get on with most people here. There's one or two I know that are not keen on her, but generally speaking, the town appreciate what she does, and she seems a very well connected and loved leader. What's your impressions of Darathra? I noticed that you've been having conversations with her over the last.
My name's Darathra.
At this, Ursula raises sort of like a little smile and says, "It's good that we can retain our spirits on a day such as this."
Well, between you and me, I think she's jealous of my wings.
I've had a few conversations with Darathra, and the inability to fly is certainly not one that we've ever discussed. So if that is truly true, then it's not something that I'm aware of.
Well, sometimes our darkest fears are those we hold in the darkest of places.
Thank you for bringing over the cocktails, by the way.
That's okay.
And she takes a sip of whatever it is that you put in front of her, and you see like a bit of a wince, like, you know, when you eat something particularly like sour, or, you know, that sort of like
the old Tangfastics face, yeah.
Yeah, she pulls one of those and she says, "It's not unpleasant."
It's weird at first, but you'll be surprised how Moorish it is.
Okay, I'll have to take your word for it. And she puts it down on the table, and sort of as she carries on talking, you can see her sort of like almost absent-mindedly, sort of like just pushing it away from her, just nudging with every sort of syllable. And she says, "Anyway, you probably have much to discuss. I'm an old woman who's taken up too much of your time. Again, thank you. Enjoy your time in Tribal, however long that or fleeting that may be after today. And I shall see you in the morning for breakfast, I imagine." And she stands up, and she walks away. And it's only now that you sort of notice the ever so slight limp that she has. It's not massive, but there's enough there that you can see why she might have given up her adventuring days. She's maybe not quite as mobile as she used to be.
Nah, it's actually just a fake limp, and she's putting it on for a poor performance during the battle.
Possibly.
Oh yeah, bad knee.
Possibly. It gets right pain when there's fire giants around. So Greg's still out in the tent, in the hole in the tent. Anything you want to do? Are you just sitting there, Greg?
Oh, he's fully asleep by now. He's just knackered. He's crawled up in the hole, put a blanket over himself, sucking his thumb in the hole, just curled up in the fetal position.
Right, lovely, excellent. The other four of you, anything you want to do, or are you going to bed?
Bed.
Okay. Fine.
No, Krill?
No, it's fine. I was going to address a massive plot point that happened today, but everyone's just seemed to brush over it, so let's just pretend it never happened.
Go on.
Dweezil, go on. the man that took 14 damage from one of his comrades is like, yeah, what of it?
In fact, no, didn't he? He tried to look into it, and he just couldn't. We couldn't get any response.
Dabov tried to talk to him and didn't get a response.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Go on then.
I think we have to address the elephant in the room. Earlier, Quinch attacked Weasel.
I didn't do that, did I?
I mean, that was definitely something somebody said.
I mean, theoretically, you still have Quinch written on your head, so you could argue you are Quinch at the moment. So yes.
I thought we rubbed off.
Oh yeah, you did. Sorry, yes, I forgot the how could I forget the infamous
Right.
spit in hand moment?
Based on that, I'm led to believe it may have actually been me. I don't really understand what happened.
It was you, Krill.
Is it possible that Greg has done dark magic to me?
I'd be very surprised if that was the case. We've seen Greg put foes to sleep before using his magic. He did it back in Nightstone with the bandits on horseback, the Seven Snakes, and it seemed that it was the same magic that he used on Quinch and you. I don't believe it was any kind of mind control. I believe he just put you to sleep. The action of swinging the axe was entirely you.
I mean, I did have a strange dream. And then I awoken in this fog, covered in your blood. A dream
What
where
was your dream about?
I was swinging an axe.
That sounds
reminds
like it
me-
might line up with the attack quite.
When I was a little boy in Larithenbull, I often used to dream that I was in the schoolhouse and I needed the toilet. And then sometimes I would wake up and I would have actually wet the bed. And maybe this is the similar kind of dream. In your dream, you dreamt you were swinging the axe, and in real life, you were swinging the axe.
Does it seem like I was swinging wildly, or was it somewhat targeted at you?
I mean, it hit me right in the side for half of my hit points worth of damage.
Metagaming. Please role play it as what would you wouldn't.
And it really, really hurt.
Krill, did you have a dark past? Do you suffer from multiple personality disorder? Or is there any other thing that you can think of that triggered this traumatic dream?
We already know that Krill has a tendency to black out and wake up surrounded by bodies. It's happened to him while we've been with him, and he's told us that it happened to him when he was young.
It seems to be the further I venture from home, the worse it's getting. Next I worry I may kill
You just
someone.
toddle on then. Believe me, you've killed plenty of people in your rages.
Someone important. I've not met anyone important yet, but I might do.
Well,
I suggest that when we go to bed this evening, you do not sleep with your axe.
never sleep with your ex. It's messy.
That's why Kent didn't want to speak to you earlier.
Well, I did see. He mentioned his wife, which is something he didn't do on our Anyway, I am actually getting quite tired. I myself feel like I've had about 50% of my energy drained. If I were to put a number on it.
Off to bed we go.
Yeah, I think we should hit the hay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Daboff, anything you want to add to that?
No, we're all a bit knackered. It's not time for like training or anything like that. We'll just go to sleep.
Okay. You all head off to bed. Beddy buys.
One little twist of the cube of many colours just before bed.
Okay.
What was it? Oh, natural 20. Whatever that does for me.
Natural 20. Oh my goodness. That is excellent news. Okie dokie. Hang on a second. It doesn't actually do anything that you're going to find out, but I just need to update the list. I can't wait for this to pay off. cannot wait. This is something that could literally go the entire game. Okay, right. So you twist on on the many-coloured cube, and having done so for quite a few times now, you just start thinking, oh, maybe I've got this. Maybe I've got this. And it starts moving around, and you start to see some of the colours start to match. Not too many of them, but a few start to match. And what I'll say is, on your next roll, you'll have advantage.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. So you all head up to bed. Quinch does some fiddling, as we all know he does. The rest of you, I assume, just get in. Krill, what are you going to do in terms of your weapons? Are you going to do anything to protect yourself?
I'm gonna try not to sleep.
That will mean that you wake up the next day exhausted.
You won't. Incorrect. You won't wake up.
Which does mechanically do something to you. But you're happy. If you're happy to do that, feel free.
Yeah, I've got this sense of fear around falling asleep.
Okay, it's worth noting.
Wow.
It's worth noting you'll take 1 level of exhaustion, which gives you disadvantage on ability checks for the next day.
But do I still recover
Well.
my hit points and stuff?
Yeah, all of that's still.
Wouldn't have thought so if he's not resting.
Yeah, it's a good point. Actually, I don't think you do.
It could probably count as a short rest and maybe.
Yeah, I'd allow you to do a short. I'd allow you to do that. Take a short rest. You'd still have the exhaustion, but I'd allow you to do the hit dice.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do a short rest.
So that does mean, though, anything else that comes from a long rest you don't get either. So I don't know about rages. Are they just long rests?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the thematic.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
What? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sam is taking the roleplay option rather than the metagaming option.
What a man.
Captain Min-Max.
He's Max Mind. Right. Okay. So the rest of you. So yeah. Krill has a troubled night. Let's say he maybe at some point tries to sleep, but he just can't. He might get snatches of sleep here and there, but overall he's not sleeping very well. Quinch also doesn't have necessarily the best night's sleep. He let's not forget he did have a 1-minute nap earlier, and that maybe just joints him a little bit. Dweezil bleeding out of his side from an axe wound. Manages to get the rest he needs. Daboff, I don't know, tickles his weasel, and gets to sleep. And Greg's never had has the best night's sleep he's ever had. Like, almost making him question whether he's got some sort of allure to death or something. Next morning arrives. Krill is the first one awake because he's probably not even been asleep for any considerable time. So Krill, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go out for a walk in the early hours. I think I'm gonna get up and leave.
Okay. All right. You leave long before the rest have woken up. Even before there's any real stirrings in the rest of the inn, like breakfast isn't even ready. You've just gone up.
Did I have an individual room, or are we sharing a room?
You had individual rooms here, if I remember correctly. I don't think you were sharing at all, were you here?
Okay.
I feel like you were sharing. I think Am felt you were sharing. Did you?
Or did we get 3 rooms? I think actually we had 3 rooms, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
I think I was.
Yeah,
who was
maybe.
sharing?
Don't think I was.
Don't remember.
Let's not worry about it. It's not the biggest thing in the world. It's not going to break the game.
I've gone downstairs. Is there anyone downstairs?
No, it's still quiet. There's no one awake. You're relative. I mean, what time early are you talking?
Like
You've gone out for a walk.
5 a.m.
Yeah, you could probably hear someone in the kitchen, sort of like doing some prep, but it's just like the chef or whatever. There's There's no one. There's no one in the inn itself. There's no one behind the bar. There's no one in the tables. And
What I
anything
do
like
is I poke my head into the kitchen. I lean my axe against the wall and say, "Watch this for me. I'll be back shortly." And then I leave from this walk.
Okay, and then the chef has their Sony Walkman in, and they don't hear you. And someone comes along and steals your axe. No, they sort of look round with a sort of like really confused look on their face, because they've like literally no one's ever said, "Can you look after my axe?" before, and you don't even wait for their response. So you head off out to town. You're walking around town. You see the occasional person. You can still see sort of some smoking coming from the buildings where the fire was. Still not, completely settled. Where are you going? Are you heading anywhere in particular, or are you just clearing the head?
I think I'll find my way to Greg.
All right, and you make your way to Greg, and you see the tent is there, undisturbed, and you hear a quite echoey sort of snoring noise coming from within.
I'm gonna try and wake up Greg.
Oh, what a bastard!
Okay.
Currently having the best sleep of his life.
Yeah.
It's a good job he went to bed earlier than the rest of us, otherwise he might not even get his long rest.
No, I'm going to quantify that he did. So, Greg, yeah, you suddenly feel this. What? How are you waking him? Bearing in mind, Greg is in a hole.
I'm just kicking a little bit of mud from the side of the hole into it. Greg.
Yes, darling, I'll have a coffee if you're making one, yes. It's only you, Krill. What time is it?
I don't have my watch on me, but it's probably about 5 a.m.
Why must you wake me at 5 a.m.? I was having the best sleep of my life.
Well, I know you're a bit of an arse, but we've been travelling together for a long time, and you're probably the one I trust most, and I'd like to talk.
Well, by all means, my boy, I hold many answers to many questions.
You saw me attack Dweezil yesterday.
I did. I was a bit confused by that, but yes, I can see that you are not yourself, and I guess you want to talk about it.
This isn't in my nature. You know me. I'm a beast of rage, but not like this. Not to friends. What do you think's wrong with me?
I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that, but I would say that you've got some deep scars in your past which you haven't fully, I don't know, taken care of, so they are manifesting in other ways.
I don't know what's going to happen. For the first time in a long time, I'm scared.
Would you like me to take your axe off you and replace it with, I don't know, a log instead?
Could we get him a Nerf axe that squeaks?
I'm very proud of my axe. I'd never truly abandon it. But if it's getting used to my friends, then maybe I can't be trusted with it.
Perhaps you should just, rather than giving up your axe, acknowledge the root cause of your problems and your hurt. Perhaps by letting someone in to help you, it may help you relieve some of your rage, or at least point it in the right direction.
That sounds like a good idea.
So, What happened to you in your past?
Thank you for joining us on our adventures. Please subscribe and leave a review on whichever platform you listen to podcasts through. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter at Dice and Desire, where we share behind the scenes bits and bobs, and we'd love to interact with you there.
The Four Corners Podcast presents The Final Crusade, a Pathfinder 1E Mythic Rules adventure playing Wrath of the Righteous. Come sit at our table and join our 5 intrepid players for the high highs,
Our Mythic Tier 2!
the low lows, and hits her in the temple,
Are you f***ing kidding me?
and she dies.
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Utter chaos.
Solidarity! And then she's gonna pull a card from the deck.
Oh my god!
Oh, this is going off the rails.
Oh,
An untold mystery. And I guess we'll have to find out what it all means next time on The Final Crusade.
wait, what is happening?
That's a great question.
I'm so confused.
Join us every Wednesday on all major podcast platforms.